Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Invasions, week 26, day 5. Though of course we are done with invasions, however, we have ourselves a new goal because of course earlier today we ended up getting a new hero class of Slayer from the Drakzoom kingdom. It is basically an alternative version of that of the Warlord class, of course. As far as its viability, they are both similarly useless. As far as which one is better, I would just stick with Warlord, mostly because a lot of early game players have likely already leveled it up, and even if you haven't, you probably have it more leveled than you have the Slayer, so you might as well just get it all the way, because neither of them are viable until level 70 and 100 when they actually get their 2 good perks. But both of them are used pretty much for the same reason, in that they have triple damage to burning while also simultaneously enraging every single time they have an extra turn. So yeah, you might as well just do Warlord and just completely ignore Slayer, as Slayer is still a while away before you need it for kingdom upgrades. However, since we do have like literally every other hero class completed, including Warlord, I am focusing right now on getting 250 wins. I'm not buying into it because it's such a useless hero class, so I'm not spending any gems on the event. However, we are going to be manually going and getting this weapon, and we should easily be able to complete that this stream, only needing 38 more wins with the hero class. As far as the method that we've been doing to go do that, we've been using the low level to high level method for the token grinding. So basically what we do is we explore in a lower area, quick killing it with any kind of standard quick kill team. And then we go and switch over to Urskea or any other kingdom that you want to go and kill normally at difficulty 12, and then kill it at difficulty 12, so that we get a few battles in using the hero class that we're trying to level. Oops, I accidentally just did Diabolist. Wait, did it not save earlier? Hold up. Why is it doing Diabolist instead of my other thing? Didn't I switch this team earlier to be not? It definitely was switched. That is super strange. Did it switch back for no reason? What? What? Hold up. It didn't save my teams from earlier. That is very weird. Was it because my mobile device was on? I don't even think it was at the time. That is very strange. None of my teams saved. I gotta be careful with that. Especially when we're doing videos. Okay. So apparently don't have phone on when we're setting teams, because it might save the previous teams that we had on the other platform. That is very bad. Okay, the more you know. But anyways, that just undid all my teams from earlier. Luckily, I didn't really save that many teams. But that means I need to go input all of them again. Well, my Slayer class thing is still here, but that was for the event. That's not really for anything. But yeah, I didn't save any team from earlier. That is really bad. Well, anyways, we'll have to go redo that before we go do a video on it. Because I was going to cover it hopefully later tonight. But gosh, it just deleted all the teams. That's not nice. Anyways, let me go and... here, let me go shut off the mobile version. Gosh. Let's see. Where's the power button to this thing? Turn off. Actually, I should probably close it, then turn it off before I actually turn it off. Hold up. How do phones work? I'm still trying to figure out because I haven't used phones in so long. Let's see. We go to this. This should bring up a menu where I could close it. If I could do it correctly. Let's see. We do that. We do that. Where's the close all button? That's not what I wanted. Let's see. Where's close all? I brought it up earlier. There it is. Close all. Okay. Close all. Shut it down. Turn off. Power off. Power off. There we go. Stop changing my teams. Okay, where were we? Back to Slayer. Equip. Slayer equip. And I gotta go copy the other thing and then move the other thing over. Grab that. Grab that. And where's my Scorpius team? Scorpius. Grab all that. Copy that. I'm surprised they still haven't fixed that glitch, though. I guess it kind of doesn't know which one to go by, since one's set to one and one's set to the other. Because I remember people mentioning that like 4 years ago that was a problem. I'm pretty sure they fixed it so it isn't as bad of a problem, but it's apparently still just happened. Scorpius, and okay. And then we just reorder this to go up there, and it should be good now. Oh, I still need to change this to... Actually, never mind. That stays as Titan Care class. That's actually correct. Okay, so anyways, let's go and mess around with this real quick. Now that we actually have our teams restored. Or at least those. I was going to try to end up making some too. But all the progress I had on that apparently just got deleted. But that's pretty straightforward as far as what teams you would end up using it for. It's very similar to that of Warlord. As far as what kind of things you would opt for. Though you could even use bleed mechanics now with it too if you wanted to kind of spam with that. That one new Mythic kind of would. I don't think I'm going to show it though because it seemed like it wasn't that viable and most people don't have that Mythic. That really recent Mythic that has like the bleed and tangle on it. Because that bleed and tangle mechanic, I don't know, maybe I'll still show it. A team that uses it. Because that bleed and tangle mechanic does synergize decently with Slayer class. Slayer, of course, has two main benefits. The fact that it gets to bleed when it ends up getting a kill, and the other being that the entangle would be good for any kind of skull spam oriented thing that it was used in. So that in combination isn't too bad with Slayer, since it does synergize with what Slayer does. Yeah, King Bloodwood is the one I'm referring to when I said the most recent Mythic. Because King Bloodwood is a really good synergy thing for Slayer. It's just a lot of people probably don't have it, since it's so recent. And it wasn't really that good of a Mythic, similar to how this isn't that good of a hero class. Was that just a mech gnome? It was. Good thing we got a mech gnome while we're using this and not while we're using, what's his name? While we're using the Scorpius team. Also, I did make sure to hook up the controller before I started. I need to keep remembering to do that, especially if we're going to be grinding like something that needs a lot of inputs very quick, like Explore, for example. Really important to get this in, as it does save time. Also, hello everyone! Didn't even say hello yet, because the thing distracted me when the teams didn't save in game. But hello William! Hello Barbara! Hello Humberto! Hello Isabel! Hello Tyranny! Hello Gamora! Hello La Joker! Hello Birdleaf! Hello Mobarashi! And hello everyone else! Welcome, welcome. Hope all of you have been having a good Black Friday and Thanksgiving with your family, or on your own, or however you're celebrating it, if you celebrate it. But I got some shopping done, still have a bunch more to do. It's mostly just knick-knack stuff for the channel for the most part, and very few gifts for some other people. Because a lot of them I already actually got already prior to Black Friday, because there, of course, there were deals going on prior to it even occurring. But I'm still on the hunt. Also, I might pick up some games. Still not sure exactly what I'll be going for in that regard, as far as what game pickups I'm going to be considering. I am highly considering Breath of the Wild. The only problem with picking up Breath of the Wild is if I start it, I'm going to want to complete it out to 100% completion. And I'm not sure how long that game takes casually. Especially since I don't think I've actually ever finished a Zelda to 100%. I can't think of a single Zelda I ever did. Because I was younger when I played most of these Zelda games. And I think the closest one I ever came to 100%ing was Ocarina of Time. But I don't think I've ever actually gotten like all the way in a Zelda game before. Let's see. And I want to play it before the second one comes out, which is the main reason why. And it did technically win Game of the Year for 2017. And I have seen footage of it, and it's pretty decent. Not normally this kind of style of game I play, but it is like pretty solid. I think it's only like 42 bucks right now, the digital version. There are actually some deals to get it $30 today, but I didn't bother going for any of them. I assumed they would already be out of stock by the time I even tried going. Not to mention, I generally prefer getting the digital rather than physical if I can. Take up less space. Also, the digital one, I mean, the physical ones are just so hard to lose. They're like microscopic little chips that you put into the thing. Like smaller than SD cards. I already thought SD cards were small. Actually, I believe they're the same size as SD cards now that I think about it, but still, they're really small. Oh, I'll throw that down. Breath of the Wild is 100 hours? Okay, so it'll take me 120 hours then. Let's see. But yeah, I'd be going into it mostly blind. I've only mostly watched speedruns of the game. And some really casual of the start of the game. Back when it launched ages ago. But I have no working knowledge of the game. Other than like some basic mechanics. Like the fact that weapons have durability. And that you have like climbing, stamina, and you know, just like really ultra basics of just gameplay. Though we might have to test some of the glitches in the game, because there's some really fun glitches. I probably won't initially use any of them, mostly because I wouldn't really know how to properly do them. But I will, by the end of the playthrough, probably start testing a couple of them. Because there's some really funny ones. Particularly mobility glitches that are in the game. Of which there are dozens. Team for Slayer? I'll go check it out in a second. Oh yeah, that still reminds me. I have no way of copy and pasting that over easily. Actually, you know what there is? Let me see. Let me go open up Chrome. Where's my thingy? I'm just going to keep this open, I guess, in the background for now on. Because for whatever reason, it doesn't show up on my screen anymore. So now whenever I want to Now whenever I want to go and do this, I have to actually go over to my page itself, which I have open on my other computer, but I've been keeping it not open on this computer just so it wouldn't lag the stream. However, the stream has been such good quality that I don't even think it will lag the stream with this open, so I guess we'll be fine doing this. There we go, there's the team. Let me go copy paste it, mute my stream. Okay, good, it's auto muted. Good job, YouTube. You do one thing right, you do auto mute the stream when we go into this page. That is one thing that you do correctly. Good job, YouTube. Now go do the other billion things correctly. Okay, I got the team on copy paste. We'll go throw that down. Get a Wayne. Oh, don't do that yet. I forgot. We need to go do the other one. But before we do, let me go see what team this is. We'll just put it all the way at the bottom. Invasion. We don't need that. We already finished out Invasion. Paste team. Oh yeah, I don't have Death Dealer yet. We're about to, though. Yeah, it would work. That's like a pure Drock Zoom kind of team. I was planning on not using the hero class with Drock Zoom options, though. Or the weapon. The weapon's pretty underwhelming. The weapon deals damage to an enemy. If the enemy's bleeding, it deals double. And if there's a 10% chance, then then it has a 10% chance to slay them, boosted by Doom Skulls out of 2 times. So realistically, you're going to have on average 5 Doom Skulls on board, so that's about an average of 20%. Though you could get it about to a little over 30%. Though very rare situations would ever have that occur. It's really hard to get a lot of Doom Skulls on the board compared to any other gem. So they really should have made that boost ratio a little bit bigger, like at least 3 times. But yeah, the double damage is not going to be enough to kill anything. Any instant chance is going to be too random to bother killing anything. I don't know what perks it has, we'll know in a second, but I don't believe it gets anything good. Probably gains in rage, maybe some extra damage, maybe an attack boost, maybe an HP boost. But, and maybe like it bleeds, an extra bleed, but I don't really foresee this being viable in any way. The hero class itself might be, but I don't feel like I'd bother using it in a Drock Zoom related team personally. Though if you were to go a Drock Zoom team, that's probably one of the better ones you could go. However, I'd personally put in a Glaceon into this team, just so you can get the other Doom Skull spam, so like replacing that with like a Glaceon or something, or even do it more so in Glaceon team order, where you would do Glaceon, then the Moria, and then the King Bloodhammer, and have the triple in there. If you were going to go run it, I'd probably run it that way. If you're going to go with pure Kingdom, I guess the reason you did it this way was to make it pure Dwarf. I don't think you really need to make it pure Dwarf though, because unless you're specifically putting in King Highforge for the half mana start, there isn't any particular reason to go with the Dwarves. Well, I guess you get some other bonuses as you level up the class, but it's they're not really particularly good for Dwarves. And if you're bothering to build a pure Dwarf team, it's probably a little bit better to go down the Rune Priest route. That is one of the instances where Rune Priest will end up being a bit more viable for you, is in that kind of instance if you're trying to go pure Dwarf. I feel like the Slayer hero class is more so for Skull-related teams. It's basically, like I mentioned earlier, just an alternative version of Warlord, and you'd use it in a very, very similar way. Similar to how Warlord you don't end up using with Giants, you most likely won't be using Slayer with Dwarves, even though you theoretically could. One nice benefit that this hero class does have that Titan does not, though, is you can go with a 50% mana start on this hero class. So you can end up doing that by using a Highforge, King Highforge onto your team. While you do have to waste an entire slot for it, it will give you half mana start on your Slayer hero class, which is something you cannot do with Warlord, as it is impossible to set both Giants 50% mana start while also setting another hero class. So Warlord can never have a half mana start. Yeah, the 20% is the highest you could ever get, whereas this class, the Slayer hero class, can end up getting it. Also, I'm not currently using it. We actually switched over to Titan for doing these other battles. Main reason for switching over to Titan for these in particular is just because it was kind of dying on us, even when we ended up reordering the team, and it was just overall slower. So I ended up just opting for, when we take the higher amount of tokens, we go and switch to the proper team. And then once we go back to grinding, we switch back to the other kingdom, go throw it all the way down to the weaker team on the lower difficulty, and then quick kill it with the Rowan Rush into a Leprechaun. Yeah, I did use a bunch of them for the Slayer class event. I ended up using the Doomskull team. We showed it on Monday as well, the team that I ended up using for it. And we ended up doing that earlier today when we were doing it. However, I'm not going to be doing too many battles for it. We're just doing the free battles, of course. But if you are going to use a team for it, you pretty much just spam every Doomskull related option. And you want to make sure you put the Summoner in there. There's a green-purple Summoner from the Kingdom, and you do want to put it in, just to make sure in case you die, which is pretty likely when you're spamming Doomskulls. In case you die, you'll have an option to resummon in order to preserve your points. And while those points don't make too big a deal, if you're trying for a leaderboard, it can make all the difference of an entire position. So you do normally want to have a maximized score on that. And to maximize your score in a class event, all you have to do is kill every Valraven you ever see, win every single battle without ever losing, and the third condition is make sure you win the battle with 4 troops remaining. It doesn't matter if they die. You could lose 3 troops and then resummon back another 3 troops until you have 4 again. But as long as you end the battle with 4, you got the full amount of points. That's the only thing that matters for those events if you're looking to maximize your score. Win with 4 troops by the end of the battle. Actually win the battle and make sure you don't lose any Valravens, and that will maximize your points for class events. And that's how every class event goes down. Did I play Xenoblade Chronicles 2? Yes, I have played Xenoblade Chronicles 2 to completion. However, I never did the DLC for it. For whatever reason, Nintendo seems to never have the DLC on sale. Like every single time, the game will go on sale, but the DLC never does. I noticed that with Sims 2 when I was looking at Sims 4 and getting it from my mom the other day. Like the Sims 4 right now is like $5. It's ultra cheap. However, every single DLC is still like 20 plus bucks, which is weird. But same thing seems to be happening with like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and a few others. Like the base game will go on sale for like a really decent price, but all the DLCs like never goes on sale. But yeah, I have played the game to completion. It's probably one of my more favorite RPGs I've played in recent times. Actually, I can't think of a single RPG I've played recently that's actually better than Xenoblade Chronicles 2. The only real big issue with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is it doesn't really have too much replay value. The base game itself, going through the storyline and everything's amazing. But, I don't know, once you play through it once, the first playthrough can take anywhere from like 60 to 100 hours, depending on how far you, or, you know, how much side stuff you do, like side quests and all that. But, yeah, it's a really solid game. A lot of funny cutscenes, decent storyline, actually really good storyline, and overall pretty nice. The combat system is really interesting in it. It's like a turn-based real-time combination. It actually reminds me very similarly to that of RuneScape as far as how its combat is. It's both simultaneously real-time and turn-based, because you're moving around and doing everything in real time. However, you're going off of various ticks and weapon speeds and cast speeds that make it somewhat turn-based. Let's see, we'll go for that for now. And let's kill with the double kill. Yeah, the DLC for it did come in at like a year after the fact. I played the game all the way back in November, though. November, December, around that time. Of last year, not this year, obviously. Actually, my friend gifted it to me. Yeah, it was a pretty good RPG. Okay, oh, what do we take here? Take that for now. Get our mountain. I've heard the most recent, what's it called? It's pretty good too. I don't think I'm going to get into it though. The most recent Dragon Quest that ended up coming out, I heard is pretty decent. The only problem with games is there's too many good games that exist. Yeah, generally if you're building a Slayer team based around the weapon, you should almost always be going Glaceon. Glaceon is insanely good. I know it denies out the red, but that's not the point. It just synergizes so well with every other Doomskull option, and if your goal is to get a lot of Doomskulls on the board, that is the thing to do it. As if I'm not mistaken, it is the only double convert in the game with Doomskull creation. There's plenty of single converts that have it. However, I'm pretty sure Glaceon's the only double convert with Doomskull, specifically. I can't recall a single other one. Everyone that comes to mind is only a single convert. Like all the Doom weapons, that one Epic Troop, the Bloodhammer, stuff like that, are all single convert. Gosh, we have been doing so ridiculously bad on chests this week, or today I should say, not this week, but specifically today. We have gotten not a single Anu and not a single Nisha all day. That is a really bad streak. I hope this isn't our go 10 days without getting a Nisha streak. That's the worst streak to be on. It has happened to us before. Let's hope it doesn't happen again. Because that is awful when that happens. You just learned in Delve, if your troop gets transformed, it doesn't count as deathless. That is correct. I mentioned that several times in the past, but it's something that can easily be overlooked because it doesn't happen too often. But yes, not to mention you don't even need to reach the condition of deathless as often. But yes, being transformed in Delves does count as a death. However, they did fix it so it doesn't count as a death in the sense that it doesn't count towards boost ratio. Because before it did, and there used to be some pretty broken teams that could be used around it. Well, not really broken, but like it was a decent synergy. But for whatever reason, they got rid of that. However, what they didn't get rid of is in Delves, a transform still does count as a death. So if you're trying to do a 500 deathless, or if you're just trying to do a deathless in general at some kind of level range within your Delve, if you do get transformed, it will prevent you from getting that deathless. So if you're trying a 500 deathless, you generally want to focus on their transformed troops first, if they have any, as them getting a cast on you that transforms you will count as a death. Even though you still have 4 troops, it still counts as one. It doesn't count as a death if you transform yourself, but it counts as a death if the enemy transforms you. So you're still allowed to use your own transforms, but you're not allowed to be transformed by the enemy. So for example, for mirrored halls, you can go transform into the enemy and that won't count as a death. But if they transform you, it will. For that one mimicking troop. Okay, we should be getting pretty close to the amount of wins we need too. Soon, TM. I don't feel like I'll be using the weapon for much, but I do want to at least look at it, test it, see what perks it has, go from there. I'll probably do a video showing at least one team for it. I personally wouldn't really advise using it because it doesn't seem like it's worth it, but still want to go show it for anyone who does possibly want to use it. Oh, the Soon TMs. Soon TMs on top of Soon TMs. Well, still need about 4 more sets of these, or actually 3 more sets, and then we go over to the other thing. And then we'll be good to go. Oh, I hate when it does that. When I click on one of them and then it lags. It lags the playing of the game whenever you click on one of those. And it seems to be something with their coding that makes it really hard for them to actually fix it. They are aware of that glitch, but it's a problem that's not easy for them to fix. But how they have the code of the game. It's only a problem, I believe, on the PC version. I'm not sure if you can actually do it on mobile. I know for sure you can't do it on consoles. If you're just using controller only, it's actually impossible to do it. But it might be possible on mobile too. I haven't tried specifically doing it. I know for sure it's possible on PC. It's only possible if you can specifically like click on the cards themselves. Can that glitch ever occur? Oh, that's not what I wanted. Hello, Captain! Welcome! Welcome, welcome. Oh, there was that mimicking troop I was just talking about. Oh yeah, duh, we're actually farming the area where Mirrored Halls is, technically. Oh, you always keep forgetting that Mirrored Halls even is Glacial Peaks. It's definitely not the first place I would have thought Mirrored Halls would have went. But I guess what other kingdoms would really fit it that well, though? Well, where else are there already Lapinas? Well, Warren's already had one. What's that one in the top left? That one doesn't have, or that one technically could. Wait, wasn't there Urskea? Urskea, I believe, had an option that technically was, though that'd be a little bit weird of a synergy. Urskea is getting a faction very soon, though. I believe it's 2 factions from now. Next one's Stormheim. The following one, I believe, is Erskaya. It's kind of funny that they chose all the winter ones for winter time. Obviously, they planned it that way. Because we just had Glacial Peaks the previous month. Now we're having Stormheim. And then we're going to be having... I literally just said it. And then we're going to be having Erskaya. Also, even Drakzoom is technically a cold kingdom. So I guess they chose all the colder ones for the holidays. Or for the colder holidays. Which I find kind of odd. Because isn't the weather inverse below the equator? So in Australia, isn't it technically summer right now? Which must be kind of weird for them. Because they're doing content for a game that's all snowy. While they are in like, what, 80-degree weather or something? And that's in Fahrenheit, not Celsius, obviously. I guess 20, 30 degrees Celsius. I think that's about how hot it is. Actually, that might be too hot. I don't know Celsius that well. I only know Celsius around the point of freezing because of Canada. Beyond, like, 5 Celsius. Like, beyond -5 to 5 Celsius, I don't know what Celsius means. But within that range, I kind of know. Just because the only time I've ever needed to use Celsius was in Canada. And Canada's cold. Especially during winter. Tomorrow's the first day of summer? Nice. It feels so weird to say while in winter. I gotta take that over, grab our explosion. But yeah, I guess they do it like that because obviously most rest of the world is not like that. Like I'm pretty sure 80 to 90% of their player base is in winter right now. Let's see. Your best Fireblade class? What do you mean by Fireblade class? There's a couple different hero classes that have Fireblade. Oh, do you mean that as in which hero class that has Fireblade is the best hero class? I'd probably say Warlord overall. For a couple reasons. One is that it has the highest attack of anything that has Enrage. And the other is that it is already leveled by most people. And that in itself is kind of already a benefit. Because with any other hero class, you probably need to go out of your way to level it. However, a good majority of people have Warlord already leveled. And the main reason for this is because it's the first hero class you generally get unlocked in the game, assuming you go through the game normally. And a lot of people will have their Warlord hero class defaulted to everything, and they'll never bother switching to a different hero class. So a good number of people probably already have Warlord hero upgraded, and they might not even know it. If they don't really ever change their hero classes or mess with hero classes. And for that reason, I don't know, I just feel like Warlord's just overall the better option, because most people already have it leveled, and it has the highest base attack of any of the 3 times Fireblade related hero classes. And of course, like any decent Fireblade hero class, it does have both Enrage into a triple damage, meaning you can do 4.5 times damage to burning enemies, because those multipliers do stack for the full amount. So you get to hit 4.5 times damage through traits, which is obviously a lot of damage. You can do that per hit, assuming they're burned. Oh no! I accidentally clicked on it and wasted the things. Luckily, you can back out of the battle to undo it. So if you ever make that mistake, just back out, go to a different kingdom, and then go do it to completion. Good. It did undo it. I didn't realize it actually undid the spending if you go back out. I knew that you could do one of these other kingdoms in order to undo it. But I didn't realize you could literally, like, after the 100 gets taken away, I didn't realize you could literally just back out. That's kind of funny. And it actually works and preserves it for you. But yeah, whenever you get to a high level like that on accident on one of your kingdoms, like once you get it, I mean, not a high level, but once you accidentally get to a point where you're spending 100 shards for a mythic battle on a low level, you should go to a different kingdom, switch it to a high difficulty like 12, or ideally 12, and then go win with that, and then go back to the other one, cancel it, and go from there and just rinse and repeat. Back to the cycle that you were doing. Because it's a pretty big waste to waste 100 shards on something as low as level 3. When you could use something like this in a few minutes and just go claim it at a higher level range. Like Explore 12. No problem, Mobarashi. Yeah, the game didn't really tell you as well how to switch your hero classes. I believe it had a tutorial on, hey, go set your hero class, but it never told you ever again about it. And anyone who didn't really like bother as they got new hero classes just kept their hero class as Warlord forever. So Warlord's the most upgraded hero class in the entire game, just because a lot of people ended up doing that and probably are still doing it to this day. Because the tutorial tells you to go set up your Warlord once you get Warlord unlocked, which is normally the first one anyone gets unlocked because it's in the first kingdom. Because most people play the first kingdom to completion. Because they see they get Arena and still have stuff, so they want to keep doing it. Because they just got 2 free things. They get a free Epic and they get Arena unlocked. Actually, I don't think that actually unlocks Arena anymore, but at least they got a free Epic. So they're like, ooh, what do we get if we keep going? So they'll probably do the hero class almost always, like 99% of the time. And then you end up just going and setting that through the tutorial. And then a lot of people never bother switching it again until they realize, oh yeah, I can actually switch hero classes once I get more. But yeah, they gave data on it a couple years ago. But I'm pretty sure it still holds today, that Warlord is the most upgraded hero class in the entire game. Mostly because it's the first hero class you get in the entire game. It's theoretically possible to get any hero class as your first hero class, but due to how the game is structured, most people get it as first hero class. Since it's underneath the first kingdom. It costs you 5 gems to switch heroes, if I remember correctly. No. It was, I believe, you could do it once every 24 hours. But it costs, I believe, 50 gems to switch hero classes. But you get one free one every 24 hours is how it was. Upon release, it was even worse. It was a whole week you have to wait to switch your hero class with a 50 gem thing. But that ended up getting changed within like literal days because it was just too bad. But then they eventually just completely removed the cost to change hero classes, luckily. Which is something that was suggested for a very long time. Finally, we got a token that isn't useless. Unfortunately, it's an Anu rather than a Nisha. However, it does become a medal of Anu. So I guess it's not all bad. But there we go. Now if we go back to this, you'll notice that we have 75 shards. However, it says we have a mythic boss battle. All we have to do is do that, click yes, and then boom, we're right back into the loop. But that's how you go and make sure you don't accidentally waste 100 shards on a low-level Explorer. So instead, we just used it for the tier 12 rather than tier 3. Simple as that. Drop the 50. I know, drop the 50 was a big thing. Especially the year leading up to it. Hopefully when they revamp Arena, they get rid of that really outdated gem cost thing at the end of Arena. I'm not sure why they even still have it in the game. It looks weird, really weird in the current state of the game. Even when it was released, it was like not even worth it. And now that the game has developed so much, it is excessively not worth it. Because it's scaled based on an economy of the game that used to be getting multiple thousands of gems per week. It's still possible to get multiple thousand gems per week, though you have to do much different methods. The main one being taking tribute a ton, because that's actually the highest rate of gems in the entire game right now is tribute. Nothing gives more gems than tribute, assuming you are taking tribute several times a day. And also assuming you have upgraded kingdoms to at least some degree. Obviously, if you're extremely early game, that's not so much the case. But if you're like late game or later, it's definitely the case. Even at mid game, it's probably still a pretty substantial amount of gems. Did you fully medal your Yagway? Not yet. He needs 2 more. He either needs 2 more Anus or I have to waste a Nisha, which I'm obviously not going to waste a Nisha. So we need 2 more Anus, I believe, to go and get him upgraded. Not sure if I'm going to. I might just go and use 3 of them on Queen Tanya. because I feel like I'd rather have Yagway and Queen Atania to silver rather than having Yagway itself at gold. I'm still not sure yet, but I'm not spending it yet just because I'm not sure which way I do want to go. Either Queen Atania and Yagway to silver, or Yagway just all the way to gold. But almost every time I use Yagway, it's with Queen Atania. There are very few instances where they are not used together. The main one being Bounty Hunter. However, Bounty Hunter is already easy enough even without that bonus. Actually, Bounty Hunter is starting to get so easy that you can actually run it with 4 bounty troops. You don't even necessarily need to use a Yagway. I still do, just for the sake of time. Just because it's a little bit more tedious and time consuming by like almost 2 hours or even, at least an hour doing it with just the bounty troops. But it is technically possible if you want to go do it. It's been for a while. For months now, it's been viable to run Bounty Hunter with just the 3 bounty troops. I personally don't, just for time's sake. Because I don't normally go for leaderboard or anything like that. And buying up to tier 5's pack is already enough to get everything. On Monday, you were like, yay, first time I have 4,000 gems. Today, you have 5,300 gems, despite spending 50 gems a day on dungeon rewards. Nice. Yeah, gems can be accumulated pretty quick through farming methods. The best way to go and accumulate gems are the 3-day vault event weekends, which even if you're not directly getting gems, you're getting things that have gem-related value to them. There's that. There's guild. Obviously, you get a decent amount of gems that way, as well as gem-related value, just by throwing your spare gold in there. Tribute every single hour. That's on average how late I am into the game, is a little bit more than 10 gems on average per time that we claim it. Though depending on what point in your game you're in, it could be different. But normally, even in like mid-game, it's normally about like 5 each tribute or so. Once you have like all the kingdoms like to 5-star or so. And once you get them all to like 10-star or so, it's I believe it averages around 8 or 9 gems per tribute. And once you get them even further than that, it can start averaging even higher, obviously. And other than that, Treasure Hunt. Treasure Hunt is the best infinite gems in the game, which ranges anywhere from about 50 to 70 gems, assuming you already have the treasure maps. And all you really have to do with that is loop it off of... oh, wait, I don't want to take that battle. But all you have to do for that is just loop it off of... oh, what's it called? Just loop it off of treasure maps and keep going for the quick win. And once you get the quick win, just go into another quick win. Just basically take the quickest move you possibly can, trying to end with as many green chests as you can while still going at a quick speed. And then boom, you get like 50 to 70 gems per hour. 50 gems is assuming you don't spend any of your gold or glory on keys. And about 70 gems per hour assumes doing the exact same thing, however, spending all of your glory and gold on keys. Because of course glory and gold keys can also give you gems. Every other gem, or every other key cannot, but gold and glory can. It's a pretty small amount of gems. You'd have to open about every 100 gold keys in order to get 1.5 gems on average. So about every 20,000 gold worth of gold keys is 1 gem, is basically how that comes out to. And I forgot what the rate is for glory keys, just because it has a much wider drop table. But I know that every 20,000 gold is 1 gem on average. Or not gold keys, I mean gold. Did I just say gold keys? But you know, gold converts to gold keys, which become, which become gold keys. So in that regard, it works. But obviously not 20,000 gold keys. You'd get way more from 20,000 gold keys, that's for sure. Oh yeah, having the game on mobile does help take tribute constantly. I've already noticed an increase in the amount of gems I've had, as far as the rate. Just because it's so convenient, just being able to tap once and boom, you got it. Also, I don't really use my phone for much, so it's almost always idling on the Gems of War in case I want to just play a quick battle, or in case I just want to, just to take tribute. And it ends up working out really nicely. It's kind of funny, because I think 90% of my phone usage right now has just been for Gems of War. I haven't really been using it that much. Even for Gems of War, I haven't even been using it that much. But it is basically my tribute collector now. A tribute collecting device. Then I called family with it the other day. For Thanksgiving, of course. But all the text-based programs and stuff like that, and social media, the little bit I have been using it, I don't even use it on phone. It just seems so weird using it on a small screen. I still do all that on PC. The only thing I use the phone for is basically Gems of War for tributes and just for maybe a quick match. And for calling people. And that's it. Everything else I just do on PC like I normally would. Hello, Popo. Welcome. Would it be wicked if someone developed a tribute notification or bots to auto-claim it? Bots would ban you. However, there is a notification system. However, it doesn't really work that well. If you go under your settings, there's a notification system thingy for it. It's underneath settings and underneath alerts. And if you enable alerts, put it up to your Chrome browser and make sure you have enabled the general alerts, I believe it's under. I forget what category it's in. Let me see. Yeah, Kingdom Income. If you go and enable alerts and then enable Kingdom Income and set it up to like a Chrome browser or wherever you're allowed to use it, I forget the full list, but it'll notify you. The only problem with that, it's a little buggy and it doesn't really work that well. But there is one in the game that does technically do it. They really need to update it though because it doesn't work that well these days. It did when it launched, but I felt like after they did multiple patches that it's gotten like worse and worse over time. Not sure what's desyncing with it, but it never seems to do it at the right time. I've gotten into work in the past. Recently, it doesn't seem to work properly though. I'm not sure if I'm just doing something wrong or if it's just not working, and I assume it's just not working. Though I haven't tried it on the new computer yet. Not like that would really make too much of a difference, but I haven't actually tried it yet, so I might need to try it later. Though now that I have a phone, I don't really need to anymore. Because that's only good if you're just doing it just on PC. Or if you're doing it on console. Though I'm not sure if you can even use that function on console. On your earlier phone, the game sent notifications of tributes, but they were often late, and for some reason, it has not asked if you want them after you installed on your phone. Yeah, I didn't get any notification for that. However, you could look at the screen and see pretty easily that it's if there is or isn't a tribute. But sometimes it bugs, so you have to actually like click it if you think it's been an hour. But yeah, it feels really weird having a 4-screen setup now. Also, my setup's starting to get excessively cluttered. Especially since I'm going to be getting even more stuff soon that will clutter it even more. I kind of like this desk, though. I don't think I want to get rid of this desk. I just need to find a better way of, like, organizing all of this. I'm not sure if there is a better way. But yeah, now we have 4 screens. 2 laptop screens, a TV, and the phone. All set up so I can see all of them simultaneously. Oh, grab that. Get our explosion. It's not even counting all the other hardware. Because now we have little lights. We got ourselves a Stream Deck soon. That'll probably arrive in about 2 weeks or so. Haven't actually bought it yet. That was one of the things I didn't get yet. I need to while it's still on sale for sure. But, yeah, a lot of little knick-knack stuff coming soon. Also, a lot of wires I need to get too. I still didn't get. Got some of them, didn't get a few of the others though. Because there's several different ones I need. Some of them are just replacements for stuff I already have that I haven't replaced out for years. And others are just things that I don't have that I need. Or that I don't have enough of, like HDMI cables I need more of. In order to do a few things. Like, for example, I do not currently have a spare HDMI cable if I want to go video capture my laptop screen. Like, for example, if I still want to play a game on my old laptop, you know, my previous laptop that I had prior to this one, I need to go and have an HDMI, have it go into the TV, then video capture the TV. I could technically just do it to the device as well instead. However, I'd probably just put it onto the TV so I could play off the TV and just do it that way. Seems like it'd be a little bit more convenient. Oh, you guys will find out. Though it's not really too... most of the other things aren't really too interesting. Like, I might be getting some more lighting over there. Because right now my lighting's really uneven. But if I have one right over there, it'd be a lot more even. And just, like, small stuff like that. And most of that should hopefully be done by midway through December. They should get here. Like, some of them aren't even in stock, but they're still on sale and being sold. So they will come at a later time. Okay, what do we take here? Let's go grab our explosion. Get that rolling. Get a Rowan. Easy kill, easy XP. Also, we should be really close to all the kills we need. Very, very close. Oh, let me go do the other one now that we are at 96. Actually, we might already be there. Is that the weapon? Yes, it is. We got ourselves the Death Dealer. Actually got it 20 minutes ago. Wow, we had it for a while then. I didn't realize we overkilled 250 wins already. But there we go. We got ourselves the Death Dealer weapon. Let's see what perks it has. Is it useless? Probably. I feel like it has Enrage, Bleed, Attack Gain, and something else. How close am I? Bleed is correct. Enrage is correct. Attack Gain is correct. I got all three correct. It also creates 1 Doom Skull. And also deals 3 splash damage to a random enemy. Both of which are pretty much pointless. Well, actually, the Doom Skull not so much. In the context of this weapon, I guess it's okay. But that's obviously useless in the case of this weapon. But, yeah, I guessed all 3 right. That's funny. We gain 2 attack every time it casts. We gain Enrage every time it casts. And gains Bleed every time we cast. Let's go get it maxed. Okay, plus 10 dealer. Let's go and mess with this real quick. Do I still have the team on paste? Yes, I do. I guess we'll try with this real quick. Where do we go with this? Let's just do PvP, I guess. Go to an Obsidious team. Oh, Rope Dart. That might be a little annoying. Let's go with something a little bit more mid-range. I don't feel like I'd end up using this team, though. Or showing it for the thing. It's not a bad team. I just don't personally feel like I would really use it in any way. Because at this point, I'd rather just use a skull spam team if we're already building into this much skull spam. There's no way to take a blue. Oh, yes, there is. Grab that. Do we have alignment? Please say yes. No. I guess we just take a skull then. Now do we have alignment? Still no. Let's take mana. How about now? What do you create? Oh, it's just a splash damage thing. Yeah, still no alignment. Might as well stick a skull. Good, we have alignment, and now he's pretty much dead. We'll do that. Boom. And boom again. There we go. We didn't even get to use the weapon. That was just Doom Skull spam. Standard Doom Skull spam. Or a version of it. Wow, that's a lot of catches to bull. I just feel like this weapon is going to be too inconsistent. Because you're aiming to try to get a random kill that's going to be at such a low chance. And you're depending your entire team on kind of getting that kill. Otherwise, you might as well just build all into Doom Skull at that point. What do we grab? Let's Red Surge. Let's see. Can we get a kill here? There are 0 Doom Skulls on this board. Okay, now there's some, but again, the more Doom Skulls are on board, the less likely you'll actually be able to take something that isn't a Doom Skull, which forces you to just have to go right into those Doom Skulls anyways. Okay, now let's go test this hero class with, or never mind, I won't even be able to test the hero class with this actual thing. As I was going to say, let's go test it with Burn. But I'd basically have to go test it with Warlord because this thing obviously isn't max, nor are we planning on getting it max anytime soon. Because Warlord can pretty much show it the exact same way. But, yeah, as far as using this thing, you'd most likely use it in The same way that you'd use Warlord, so much so I'm actually going to set it to Warlord. Equip that, make sure all these things are correct. +5 in PvP, 2 extra attack. Burn a random enemy. When an ally dies. Firestorm. So far, every single one of these things. Right now, I'll just go lower our attack by 1. So far, every single one of these things, Slayer can do. Which one did I change? Okay, this is the only difference, is the fact that we gain 2 to all skills at the start. And since this is PvP, I guess we'll give him the 1 extra attack. But aside from that, you could do all that on the other one. You could do 4 attack. You can do 2 attack every time you get hit. You can do the fire when an ally dies. You can do Firestorm. On this one, you'd most likely have to go 3 attack when an enemy dies. Or whatever the Death Tree version of it. Then Bloodthirsty, then Fireblade. And in that regard, it's the exact same thing on the other hero class. I guess we'll show it exactly the same. So this is what you would run if you were to go run it with the other hero class, assuming just these 2 trees and not using any def. It's gain 4 attack, 2 attack every single time you get hit, burn a random enemy when an ally dies, Firestorm at start of battle, gain 3 attack when an enemy dies, Bloodthirsty, and obviously triple damage on burning. And now what we do is set up with Infernus, or any burn option that's decent. So we go Infernus, and then you just build all in Skull Spam. So go like Infernus, we'll go a Mountain. We'll go we could even go to High Forge and half mana the thing and kind of go from there. But we'll just go to 20% method for this, since obviously we can't use the proper hero class. So let's see, what else we need? Mountain. I'm trying to think of like Skull Spam options that we specifically want to go for with this method. I guess we could technically go for a right off the bat Skull. Trying to think of one of the converters that has no mana conflict. The problem is both of them have some amount of mana conflict. But let's see, what's the Empower Skull that's green-purple? Not you, but the one that doesn't have any or as much mana conflict. Never mind, there isn't one. Red-purple's the other one. They both have mana conflict with this team. My bad. So we actually don't have an option in that regard. I guess we could Leprechaun into a Keeper of Souls and just do it that way. And go the Keeper of Souls controlled skull route, rather than going converters for other skulls. And I'll cover everything except blue, and then we just go minus blue banner and go from there. Let's see, banner, minus blue, and what do we have for options? Probably a +2 brown something, though we only have +1 to +2 brown banner. However, I think we go for that just to feed Keeper of Souls. Nice little mix. And there we go. And here's one thing that you can do with the Slayer hero class, which obviously is Warlord. But it's set up just almost exactly the same as what you can do with Slayer. And then you just control Skull and go from there. Unfortunately, we are frozen on first slot, which means we are frozen on Skull, which kind of ruins things a little bit. But we can still go crazy, even though we don't get an extra turn. That would still been our turn otherwise, but we just go for one shot, one shot, one shot. Oh no! He is immune to burning, doesn't he? Or he at least has cleanse, if nothing else. That's not nice. Well, we can still hit him hard. We have Enrage, so that's still gonna hit pretty solid. It's about to rope dart us, which is very unfortunate, because that means we're entangled on that. It's actually more beneficial if the Leprechaun dies at this point. However, we do have an alternative damage for when we do get entangled, which of course is spam Infernus until we win. But now that we're not entangled anymore, we can just go and skull spam his entire team, and now that he's burning, it's one-shots. Oh no! Our hero's not first line anymore, never mind. So it's not gonna one-shot, but we can still get a decent amount of damage there. Go for either explosion, and then this Infernus killed a Moa. Alright, let's try this again, but against a team that isn't as good against what we're using. Because Rope Dart does counter it pretty well, same as Freeze on first slot, which they got really lucky with a freeze there. Now let's try this again. Let's see, is that team less annoying? Yes, it is. Okay, so let's try this again. Good night, Drock Savage. Have a good night. Catch you later. Hope you have a good weekend. Okay, we do that. Do we take all this red? Yes, because we take it on purple. And now we go convert away purple. Get our kill. Get a kill. Get a kill. And that's pretty much how this class runs. And we're, the other hero class does the exact same thing. You just do 4.5 times damage to everything through traits and just kill every last thing. That's pretty much the whole premise of the Slayer hero class. Obviously, it has slightly different perks, but it basically runs the exact same way as a Warlord does. There's probably one of the teams I'd be showing as well. There's several teams that you can run. Though this is probably one of the more consistent, running something with Infernus. Just because of the amount of damage you can get from skulls. Or, you know, from the triple damage burning into skulls. Ah, come on, we had 2 chances there. Didn't get either. He didn't even get either. So many chances. None of them actually landed. And somehow he's not dead. Let's go through a mountain. Unfortunately, no mana for anything, nor any skull. Oh, yeah, never mind. We do have skulls. And down it goes. Yeah, this is basically what Slayer class would look like when fully upgraded. But the only difference being it does have the option to freeze on whenever it gets a kill. It gets a little bit more bleed, and it can also get some lifesteal. However, you would lower your attack damage in every instance. And personally, if I had to go Slayer or Warlord, I feel like Warlord's the better option. Oh, okay, we'll take that. Oh, no, we didn't get extra turn because of the freeze. Oh, no, but we extra turned on blue there. So, actually, we did get the extra turn. Nice. Let me go Leprechaun this. And then we can hopefully be unfrozen and kill out his team. No, okay. This is actually bad. We're going to lose. Again, Slayer is not... Slayer / Warlord are not the best of hero classes. They're fun because they have really high damage. However, you never see me using them just because of basically this battle right now. They can be hard countered pretty easily as they are extremely dependent on skull damage and only skull damage. You can, of course, do Infernus and stuff like that to obfuscate that some, but they're ultimately still just skull-oriented teams. Now we actually got a white summon. Unfortunately, we're still frozen on first slot, which makes it really difficult to do anything with this thing. Well, we have enough to kill out his first slot, that's for sure. I guess we'll do it because we get some brown cascade to go get a mountain. Okay, we'll grab that, get out for extra turn. We're frozen on skulls, however, we're not frozen on green, so we can do that and kill it out. Like, they're not horrible. They're, like, around the mid-range as far as hero classes land. But they're definitely not, like, within the area of best hero classes. I'd probably sooner use an assassin than try using one of these. Unless you had a really specific reason to upfront kill the enemy. But normally it's better to back kill an enemy. Though it does have pretty high consistency, though, if nothing else. At least compared to that of a assassin. Though I still feel like Assassin's the best score-oriented hero class in the game. Because even right now through Entangle, it'd still be able to hit those 10% instant kills. Whereas while this is Entangled, you can't really do much other than try doing some board control and then poking with Infernus. Okay, so we got that kill there. Luckily he cleansed, so he was able to get it. We just go grab all that mess, get a mountain down. Actually, let me go for an Infernus here. He killed the other thing just so it doesn't get a summon. And now we just skull spam to win. And let's match. And he's dead. Hard to test what now that Moa pops in everywhere. But yeah, that does make you automatically get a bleed, which is kind of funny. Yeah, this is what Slayer class looks like when it's fully upgraded, basically. With the only difference being that you can get freeze on death with less skull damage, and you can also get lifesteal in exchange for less skull damage. And you can also get some small amount of souls per turn with less skull damage. However, your overall amount of skull damage, due to the combination of perks, will be lower. And if you're using Slayer, you can be hard countered by any troop that has a on skull or on HP related effect. So if you're up against Humility, if you're up against Ogres or some of the Ogres, or you know, some of the Orcs I mean, and a few other things that have a on trigger trait or on HP triggering trait, those will be hard countered by, or those will hard counter the Slayer. Whereas Warlord doesn't really have a hard counter other than the same hard counters that Slayer has, which are of course Entangle, things with really high... Actually, really high skull reduction wouldn't be a thing. Mostly Entangle. Entangle seems to be like the biggest thing that gets it down. Entangle and skull and attack reduction, though mostly Entangle, because Entangle prevents you from gaining attack while also zeroing out your attack, at least for its duration. But yeah, obviously I'm not going out of my way to max max Slayer, but that's basically what Slayer looks like, just slightly different. And it's such a small difference that it's not really worth going out of your way to get Slayer upgraded. Especially since most people have Warlord already more upgraded than their Slayer. Like, I'm almost sure every single person in the game has their Warlord more leveled than their Slayer. Very, very few people would be the other way around. Oh, I have done like no PvP this week. Gosh, I need to go mess around with it more a little bit this weekend. Gotta get those glory keys. Like obviously we want to switch out of that team for this. Let's go to Scorpius. But that team could theoretically do these battles. There's no entangle here. If you have anyone else who has any other questions, let me know. I'll make sure to go over them all. We'll probably be covering the hero class now that we have the weapon pretty soon. Not sure if I'll be able to get to it tonight, but hopefully I'll be able to wake up early enough tomorrow to cover it then. And if not, I'll cover it after tomorrow's stream. And somewhat during the stream, since we'll be messing around probably with leveling it more. Hopefully we'll get it to at least level 40 this weekend. Although leveling does go a little bit slower now that I'm using it more of a gold farming token grinding kind of team. And while it's a little bit slower on class XP, we gain a lot of tokens. Not the normal rate of tokens, but still a pretty substantial amount. Among the highest that we could possibly do while still gaining decent hero class XP. Excuse me. Hopefully they'll eventually make it so tier 12 battles give 2 XP toward your hero. Right now, tier 12 battles give 1 XP toward your hero. And there's at no point where they start going to 2. They mentioned that they might make changes that will give it 2 XP, however they have yet to do so. Okay, good. I was gonna say, we better have a drop in all that mess. Oh. Oh no, no Cascade. Always gotta try for them, but normally you'll miss, because it's 1 in 7 chance, assuming no Storm, and even lower if you're trying for a color that isn't the Storm color. Which I'm not even sure what that drop rate is when it is a Storm. I don't think we have data on that, unfortunately. Like, what's the chance of a color being a specific color right here? Like, if we were to take a triple right here, down this vertical line, what would be the chance of us getting a brown right there? It's more than 1 in 7. We know that. In that case, it would have been more than 1 in 7, and all the other colors are less than 1 in 7. And when there's not a Storm, they should be pretty much exactly at 1 in 7. Because Skulls and Doom Skull share the same drop table. And the main reason for that is when they didn't, it was extremely broken. So now they do. I believe it's a 10% chance that every skull becomes a Doom Skull when they come down. So the skulls are still a 1 in 7. But out of those 1 in 7, 10% of those will be Doom Skulls. Unless they changed it, that's how it used to be. Pretty sure it's still that way as well. Because it seems like about 1 in 10 of these are a Doom Skull. Which is the actual data that they gave earlier on it. Okay, what's in our chest? Anything good? Can we get something better than an Anu? Yes, we can! Anisha! Anisha! Spam all the Nishas. Give us more. Let's duplicate the Nishas. I wish. But there we go. Badge of Nisha. We are 1 badge of Nisha away. We're so close. Let's see, where are we? We are, Yep, we're 1 badge away. We're at 2 badges now. All we need now is 3 more tokens of Nisha. And we then have, finally, after all this grinding, after like a month and a half by the time we actually get it, maybe even almost 2 months. But I think we can make it by a month and a half. We'd have to get it within like the next week or two to get it within a month and a half. But 3 more tokens of Nisha, and we have finally 3 medals of Nisha, which can give us a 12 magic bonus. We're almost there. Soon, TM. Well, let's keep going. Let's go back to the other place so I can go farm the hero class. Oh, that's not what I want. Continue. Change the other team, and we're good to go. And the MOA for the free gold on top of that. And this is why we switch, because every Explorer below Explorer 9 has a 0% chance of finding a Nisha. And 12 has the highest chance of finding a Nisha. It's the reason why you don't see me ever just claiming 100 for the final one. Because obviously what we need are mostly the really rare tokens. But we cannot get a really rare token off of doing 3s. However, we can still use the shards that we get off of these low Explorers. And then use them at a higher Explorer level. And then claim the full loot off that higher Explorer level. Because these shards, it doesn't matter what difficulty you claim them from. It only matters where you specifically use them at. Similar to how it doesn't matter where you get chaos shards in the underworld, it just matters where you specifically open your portals with them. Same kind of premise here, where those shards can be accumulated on any difficulty level, and then claimed on any difficulty level. So if you're trying to farm, you do them at low levels, like 3 right now, like we're doing, and one-shot everything. But you might need to do lower if you have lower stats, like 2 or 1. And then you go and claim them on a Explore 12, so you actually get good loot from it. That's what we've been doing, of course, most of today. And we'll continue to do for most of this weekend, to grind his hero class up and hopefully finally get those last 3 niches that we need. And then we can stop worrying about token grinding as much. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop token grinding, but, you know, it'd be a little bit less of a priority at that point, because we'd have the full amount of bonuses that we need. But of course, we'd still need them for upgrading mythics, which we haven't upgraded a single mythic yet. Not a single one. Mostly because it's super expensive. You think that getting 3 niches is hard. Each mythic, if you want to have a 100% chance of upgrading it, requires 6 niches. Which means we'd have to more than double the current amount of niches we have just to gold 1 mythic. That is how hard it will be to upgrade mythics in the current state of the game. It is an extremely time-consuming effort. Taking quite literal months to go and upgrade 1 single mythic. However, what changes next patch, while it is still controversial, we are almost guaranteed going to be getting a free Nisha per week. And by free, I mean you have to spend like a ridiculous amount of gold. But you know, you don't have to pay money for it. Specifically, it's going to be a gold sync kind of thing, but you will be able to get a guarantee Nisha per week, most likely starting next patch. A Nisha token, of course, but after 9 weeks, that means 1 guarantee Nisha medal, which helps slightly towards it. We still need better methods than just that, but at least it's something else, if nothing else. Yeah, I haven't even seen a single medaled legend or mythic. I have not seen anyone who even has 1 upgrade in a legend or mythic yet. Right now, I have 0 mythics upgraded, and my highest legend is a silver Yaogui. Ah, I'll need 200 glory. So low. Is there anything special about the weapon you are using on this team? No. You can pretty much use any weapon you want. As long as it doesn't block Rowan, you can use pretty much any weapon in existence. The main reason I use a yellow is just so we could do like any yellow AoE hit. Could also do like black manacles and stuff like that too. It really doesn't matter as long as it doesn't block Rowan mana. Zeris, welcome. No, I don't think they're ever going to add metals into Soulforge. Though one thing I really wish they would add to Soulforge, though, is a way to upgrade metals to higher rarity metals and upgrade treasure to higher rarity treasure. Obviously, you would have to sink some kind of other resource, like probably souls. However, I wish they would end up doing something like that. Because right now, low-level treasure is useless. And while it's not currently useless, eventually low-level metals, like a year or two, if the game stays on its, if it doesn't really tweak anything, will be useless. Because once you have every single common and rare upgraded in the game, your common, similar to how ingots work, your common ones will basically no longer be useful. And then once you have every common, rare, and ultra rare upgraded, your rares will become useless. And then so on and so forth. And eventually we'll have a point where all we need to upgrade are legends and mythics. However, all the commons, rares, and ultra rares that we are getting have no value, or at least really minuscule value to a point that we wouldn't bother using them. Similar to how the lowest two treasures generally aren't really used that much because they are just a waste of gold. It'll just be a waste of souls trying to use the other things. Unless they eventually adjust it so they look at the rarity of the token rather than just charging you 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 each try as static amounts. But they need to do some kind of tweak to it eventually. Because in the current state, it's going to cause a lot of problems in probably a year or two from now. Probably closer to 2 years from now. Depending on how many, if they add more methods to get them. But it is eventually going to cause a problem. Similar to how treasures currently have a problem. In that the lower ones are useless. And it's a really good opportunity for them to sink literally any resource in order to convert them over. It's how I wish they would have synced gold and souls, is through those methods. Would have been a really good way to do it with souls, since it is Soulforge after all. But yeah, does anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise, we'll probably wrap up after we claim this chest right here. For now. For the night. Well, of course, we'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is about 13 hours from now tomorrow. And we'll mostly be messing around with the hero class, of course. Trying to get it leveled more. Trying to get grinded on tokens. Trying to get our last 3 niches that we're so close to getting. The closer we get, the more I want to keep grinding it. You're running low on trait stones. What's the best way to farm them? Spam explore. Spam treasure hunt's also fine. Also, oddly enough, if you're missing the really small ones, spamming gold keys, if you're already meeting guild's requirement, could be a method as well. Oddly enough, the quickest way to gain... there's 2 really quick ways to gain minor trait stones, if that's the one you're missing. The 2 quickest ways are to buy weekly glory packs. And the other quick way is to go and spend gold keys. Those 2 methods have the quickest rate of giving you minor trait stones. Though, of course, they are limited based on your resources. Doing the glory packs is limited by your glory, and doing gold keys is, of course, limited by your gold. And definitely make sure to do your guild requirements first. But those are the 2 quickest methods to gain minor trait stones. If you're looking for arcane, similarly, you can go spam glory, or you can spam explorer, and those are like the only 2 you'd really be running low on. Arcanes and the miners are the 2 biggest ones that you tend to run out of. Hello, Sam the Ham Pam. Very nice. I forget what that's called. That's not alliteration. What's it called when you do a lot of the same, like, syllable at the end? It's not called rhyming. There's a different term for it when you repeat it a lot. But anyways, I completely forget. Kill that out. A nice name. Alright, let's go claim this. Hopefully get 3 niches from it, and we'll be good to go. If only. If only. Okay, let's go get the kill. Grab that down. Boom. Get the other thing going. Get our mountain. And Scorpius kill him, and we're good to go. Can we get anything good from the chest? Boss chest. How many niches do you have in you? All 3? Any amount at all? No. Aw. Useless stuff. Quite unfortunate, but oh well. Oh, I never did dailies. Hold up, we're not ending yet. I forgot about useless dailies today. However, they're not too useless because we gotta go level Slayer. Free Slayer XP. How am I doing? I've been doing pretty good. It's been a wonderful holiday. Right now, I'm just in the process of shopping for a bunch of things off all the sales this weekend. A lot of good deals out there that I need to go and get. Most of which are for the channel. Some of them are gifts for the holidays. Also, I'm still not sure what games I'm picking up. I'm leaning towards Breath of the Wild being one of them, but I'm still not 100% certain what track will go on. Problem is I don't want to buy too many games and then not be able to play them all. What do we grab here? Take ourselves a brown for now. Just trying to get the little bit of mana off the cascade. Try for a green there. Got a double yellow, wrong color. Wow, this is going really bad right now. I've never seen this team go this bad. Gosh. Give us an option. Fine, we'll go Doomskull on because that'll give us the mana we need. And then we just Rowain him. Wow, that was a horrible battle. Never seen it go that bad for a while. Ooh. Yep, level 26 on Slayer. Gosh, these give such good EXP. Such horrible loot, but as far as EXP, that's pretty nice on them. They're worth 2 XP each and they die within seconds. Too bad Explorer isn't like this. But they're always worth going for, assuming you don't have every hero class in the game maxed, which is a good majority of people. Including myself, of course. Especially since we literally just got a hero class. Pretty sure most people haven't gotten it to 100 yet. Takes a while. Not to mention Warlord's better anyway, so just use Warlord. There we go. Okay. So let's just go claim dungeons real quick before I forget. Definitely don't want to forget our dailies. There's my key team. Good, I do have a switch to Slayer as well. So we get our free 6 XP from this. Every little bit adds up. Oh, that just took away my explosion I needed, or my free turn right there, I mean. And dead. Easy enough. On to the next one. Get that max capacity of gold. Adds up. Not too much, but 200 plus your bonuses. That's like 300 something, almost 400 gold. And the final battle, which will be an easy kill off of this. Go for that, get our egg, and then we spam egg until we get full mana again. Absolutely love this team. It's not the greatest of teams anymore. It's still up there as far as usability. I just like it because it's a good grinding team that still wins at a quick pace. Also, if maps ever become viable, it does passively farm maps. It's the only quick kill team that can passively farm maps, since most Tyree teams aren't really particularly quick for the most part. Unless you use like the half mana elf start thing. and that's using 2 whole troop system to be able to get maps, whereas this is actually a viable thing and it gains maps. Not as much as Tyree, but still gets their job done over time, passively gaining some. We don't know how viable they're going to be into the future, but if they are, we have 18,775 maps. We have way too many maps. But anyways, guys, that'll wrap it up for now. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. Leave a like if you enjoyed the stream. We'll be back tomorrow morning, as I mentioned, around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is about 13 hours from now. And we'll mostly be grinding out this hero class, trying to get a little bit further. Hopefully going over the hero class soon in the video. And, yeah, hope you all have a wonderful Black Friday. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your holiday, if you're still celebrating it with family. And I will catch all of you later. Oh, I don't have any codes left. Salty never gave me more. We probably don't have codes again until Monday. Unless I give out a super ultra shiny code during one of the streams, which I might this weekend. But, I am out of normal codes, unfortunately, because Salty never got back to me and gave me more. But she'll probably be available this Sunday or on Monday to give us more codes. So we're just going to have to wait until then, unfortunately. So the next few days we might not have codes, but I'll probably give the really good code during one of their streams at some point. I'm just not sure when. But I don't know, maybe tomorrow morning stream, maybe tomorrow night stream. Probably not Sunday night because there's a good possibility. Like one of the streams tomorrow, just not sure which one we'll do. We'll probably give out the ultra special code. But can't give out too many of those because I'm not really supposed to be handing out a lot. We only did on Thanksgiving the other day because we were out of codes and because it was a special occasion, of course. But anyways, guys, good night. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will catch you all later. Goodbye, everyone, and thanks for stopping by.